Good morning. Wow, it's cold. It was raining up here today. No rain in the forecast, but rain. So, good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you all had a great weekend. Yeah, I worked all day yesterday, but that's fine. That's fine. You do what you need to do. Yeah, so I come up to the mountain. I figure I'd get a little R&R. I had to do a little something I was asked to do, and it turned out to be like a Q&A. And I was like, most asked question. Most asked question, I'll share it with you guys, was, when's this all going to be over? I'm like, how do you answer a question like that? Truthfully, how do you answer that? You don't. It's really hard. Dave, Boogie with the Bull. I just want you to know Dave had tried to join me in to link this together. We tried to do a little something. My technology, with what's going on with technology on his side, it wouldn't allow me in. My device wouldn't interface, I guess I should say, that way. Anyway, yeah, so crazy weekend. Decent day yesterday, kind of really breezy and warm, but not warm. It was like borderline comfortable at times. This morning, it's brisk. I probably should have a blanket wrapped around me right now out in my old workshop here. But anyway, this is where I come out and play with stuff like this, when I make stuff, dumb stuff. But it gives me a little, release in my mind. And, I was doing some gardening and stuff I started the last few days. I know we all do different things. And this is not where I normally go, but I had to share this. So I'm doing I do my own composting and stuff. And I remembered something in my head. Like, how effed up is this? They're starting processing of human compostings, and I don't think they were talking about any type of fertilizer. I think they were talking about bodies from everything I got. I mean, where is this freaking world going with all this bullshit? Unbelievable, right? It really is. It's unbelievable. Good morning to everybody out there. I appreciate you coming in, waking up with me. I was going to go with Boogie with the Bull this morning just to play a little bit here and say hello, and maybe we'll be able to interface that. I don't know. It didn't seem like my device wanted to do it. And that's all good, because I know you do the waking up with me for the most part. However, I don't I try to support anybody and everybody I can. But yeah, the most asked question this weekend when I did this speak event that only went about 16, 17 minutes. Bunch of bike people and stuff, just trying to support and for the type of holiday weekend that it is, if you want to actually call it a holiday. But yeah, so how do you put a date on this? You don't put a date and time on something that you can't see a finish to. There's no doubt about that. But I like to just, start off by saying this. I have said quite a few things that have come with validation and truth to it. I still think we're going to see some impressive things occur. And then we have non-impressive things, which will be a pushback fight. It's, we got the good and the bad here without a doubt. It just is what it is that way. Good and bad. So anyway, yeah, human composting, what the freak is that supposed to be, really, in this world? I don't know. Just too crazy for me. I mean, limitations to things you thought, and morals, and so forth. But yeah, just bizarre. So anyway, I wanted to hit that back up with you guys because I wanted to know if you had any thoughts on that, to be honest with you. So the Stars and Stripes and program that's going on, and I'm bringing that up because the weekend we just had, Um, I think her name is Melikakis or Caucus, a Republican party, blah blah blah, put forth the bill for the Stars and Stripes Act of 2021, and they were going to really fight hard to get these um, people that don't really matter, their viewpoints. All lives matter. I wish I could agree more with some of these people, but you just can't. I mean, we got black groups now coming forward saying they want to kill everything white, maybe including us. I don't know what they're judging as far as what's white out there. Ain't you wearing a pair of painter's pants? That's for damn sure. But yeah, that's some bizarre shit. So anyway, with the holiday weekend and stuff, I did get a chance to try to reflect on some things that I saw going on, and there's a lot of weirdness just dangling over us. It's not going to get any better, of course. We know that. Um, just we're going to be fighting every issue from pharma to education and everything in between. That doesn't seem like it'll end anytime soon, for sure. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Okay, so anyway, let me find my paperwork here, and let's talk about a couple things that might be of interest. I did get a lot of disclosure information, surprisingly, that came in an email this morning. I didn't get a great chance to look all these things over. And it's going to, probably, help some people out in some ways that are looking on all the formats. The real people that are awake on disclosure in many ways, not just the COVID disclosure, which we already really know that that's been exposed. And there's going to be things that will happen. It's just going to take time and a lot of fight by people to push these things forward, without a doubt. But have you guys ever heard of the EEOC? These are like an equal opportunity employing agency kind of thing. Well, they're backing they're backing the government now on the forced vax is okay if your job's asking you for it to get it, and that should not be allowed. And them as a department, out there under the government and guidances to push that on people, it's horrifying, and it should not be allowed to be done. But again, it's the separation key. It's the foundation, the part of all the manufacturing, because everything that is going on in our lives is a manufactured event. And yeah, what do you do when they're coming up? Now, OSHA, one of the biggest in the world, says no. And I guess that's the narrative kickback. Who can we get to debate this with, or push a narrative back in the public's face to say, no, this is allowable and it should be enforced. Nothing should be enforced under the freedoms of the Constitution. And yet they're going to try to push it. So the EEOC, anything you can do to send them a negative signal and to get your word to these people, they need a wake-up call. Well, you know what? This is all about who you know. It's all about money. And we see that. And they're going to just keep doing these things no matter how much I preach to anybody about the negativity of this and what you share with me even. It's just it's a sad place that we're in. It's a sad place. All right, sticking to some of the holiday weekend things, I think I was kind of reached out to, and I was told that there was like 50,000 bikes that went rolling in and around the Capitol. Nice place to do it. To support what they could support of all the negativity that was coming out of how they do their yearly run and so forth up their biker run. And they, I guess, threw something together, and like 5 states got together and a bunch of bikes showed up. And of course, you're not going to hear about the goodness of what people will do for the fallen soldiers. That 624-acre parcel up there that represents all of America. All of America. And again, you got to take your hats off. Bikers stand strong. They've always supported Trump. They've been one of the very first backbones to Trump. They really have the push and a good way to change America, making America great again. And here they are standing up because, while we were out doing our thing, They gave up their weekends and drove in the rain, and they made sure it rained, didn't they? And the weather got bitter, like it is here. I mean, last night to go down to 45 degrees, coming into the 1st of June, it's like, come on, that's pretty like strange. Although it can't happen, but that's the global warming. It's 45 degrees out, and they're up there spraying the skies right now. I swear to God to you on that. They're up there spraying the damn skies, blocking the sun. So we have a slow, moderate, comfortable rise in temperature. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. I wish I could shoot these things down. I really do. And I got to watch my mouth there. But it really, it's a negativity. It's the darkness. It's the side, the doom, the gloom of it all, of life and sun and blue skies and fresh air. But that's what they do. So hats off to all these biker dudes and chickettes that went out there and rocked for, the people, the fallen. I hope wherever they are on the other side somewhere that they understand we are in a hell of a battle here and we're doing the best we can, and they are not forgotten, even in the worst of our times. That you have to thank people for doing. You really, really do. Okay. I'm hearing some crazy crap here. The possibility that the orange, Jen, was possibly asked to like step down from her position as press secretary under Biden. I don't know if you guys heard anything about that. It got thrown at me. The gospel of the boogeyman, Dave Glovin, I mean, he's probably popped up. He insisted upon doing the same time segment as me, and that's fine. We all have a right to free speech, choice, and everybody will make their thing. So good luck to Dave. I hope you do well for yourself with that. Sorry I couldn't get our things together. I'll try later. Maybe we can do a little something. Anyway, I didn't hear anything with strength about this, and I don't know if anybody that you guys may have, but if you have, send me that, because I would really like to know if there's some kind of major change happening there, because that would tell me there are some serious fireworks that I need to look into to what would cause something like that, and what steps and follow a last couple of her statements, and I might be able to put something together with it. And I'll try to do that later, if I sit down for a minute to do lunch or something, or maybe at dinner time, just to like reflect on some of that. Yeah, so is it real about Jen? Is she stepping down? Was she asked to step down? I don't know. But I can tell you this much. There is a very strong caucus getting together demanding that Biden dumps Harris. That I can tell you. And it's all the push on the side because we have an issue at the border. And we do have an issue at the border. It's a major issue. And she continues to ignore it. And that's what she does. So, step up a little bit further here. Might be a bright side, even without the sunlight here. There's been some information coming out on the purpose of Sidney Powell, what she has been doing and handling. And it seems that she's been handling a lot that has to do with military tribunal laws and whatnot. And she's been working with law professors and so forth, and looking at old laws and court case scenarios where things had to be done, and it looks like that's where we're headed, and that's the things that are going on in America, ever so hushly. Seems that there's a change of venue, a place of action where this will occur now. It started in the White House in ways, from things that I have found out and learned, and we have witnesses to the fact of that. So let's see what happens, because when they removed her in ways, or just making a separation from the Trump party while still in office and under COVID and some of the election things and all the things that were going on, the goods, the bads, Trump made a separation because there's legal issues there. If he didn't separate himself from things, it would be a conflict of interest and so forth. So let's see where that goes. It sounds positive, like good positivity. We know she's a rock star. She's a warrior to everybody in America, really fighting the fight and staying with people. And not just that. Her predecessor, that was kind of like a supportive attorney for Donald Trump, they came out now with a statement as well. And this is kind of like, not odd, but is it a note of positivity somehow? But it was a big disagreement between the predecessor, legal advisor, young lady, and Sydney. A little conflict of disagreement, agree to disagree conflict of how and these results would push a narrative for Trump to be able to step right back into office versus not being able. Sydney thinks it one way. The other young lady thinks it the other way. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. Apologies to everybody on that. So we'll go with Sydney saying that Sydney felt that, and everything in her mind under law, she sees that Trump could actually walk back in once enough of the evidence is all produced. And here we know alarms went off the other night, and there was issues going on in places, and nobody was watching the materials that were to be checked. Now there's an explosion of two of the highest powered attorneys to go in, stop, and try to stop all of these election audits. And I think the main focus that they're on right now, they're starting in Georgia. They want it all stopped and halt. Of course you do, because y'all lied. Y'all know where you're at. You know what you did. And come on, America knows what's happened now. We are waking up. Maybe not in the numbers we want, but people are waking up. They don't agree with this. They know now, from everything they've seen and the dirt that they've disclosed about themselves, their thoughts, the narratives, the push towards children and so forth, people aren't taking this. They're just not. So anyway, these two attorneys are going in. They're going to do whatever they can. I don't know if they're going to file habeas corpus or one of these legal things that they do to try to stop the audit. And that's where they're at with that, because they know they are so busted. But that's okay. Even if they were to succeed with that, Mike Lindell, the pillow man, of course, has said a lot. And we know he has machines, and we know they are, doing everything that they can do with technology to figure out all this stuff. And we know we're gonna have some stardom of news there. It's gonna shine in the light better. I got some information that came to me that very shortly Mike's gonna be spilling his guts on some things, which is a good way. I know bad terminology words that I use there. Apologies for that, but that's where we're at. It's just a wow, what a shit show, right, people in America? Anyway, if I didn't say hello to you this morning and wish you well, I apologize. Thanks for coming in to Waking Up, the Monday through Thursday segment. I am Michael Anthony. I know I don't have a lot on, but the view numbers have been high, and I know we're getting a lot of new people. So just to get that out, I also do a live Friday night session, and we try to start that off between 9 and 10 o'clock. That way, if it lasts an hour or it lasts 2 hours, whatever, at least the upload is affecting and getting everywhere by 10 o'clock. So that's why I do that. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for everything you do. I'd be nothing without you. This is all about your voice. It's all about your voice. It truly is. Oh, 33. I just want you to think about this. 33. And you guys know what the bobbling heads are, right? All those things people back in the 50s and 60s and early 70s, they started going out of style. They had these little dogs and their heads would bob in the car. Well, 33 signifies spike protein or something. It's really weird. But I did look at some things last week that made me think about this. Everywhere in the media was a manufactured script. I've been calling it manufactured. I really do. I don't know who else is, but I know in my mind that's what I've been doing. And it's true. It's true. And I know everybody has seen this. But it started out with 33. It didn't matter where you were, who you were, where you were at. Everybody in the media, who we probably all looked to first, because we were in a hell of a crisis. We were led to believe death was coming in the millions and more. 33 was on everybody's palate, coming from everybody's mind. We now have 33 cases reported here. We now have 33 cases reported there. We now have 33 cases. You get it, right? Times, keep going. Globally, everybody had 33 cases at the same time. Right? True. We also know, we also know now, Ukraine released a little bit of information from the good people. Because we got good people with us. We do globally, without a doubt. We're not just in this alone. We do have a global fight. We all have our own leaders and governments that suck, without a doubt. But we have them. They're with us. We all are, for one, globally. It's a huge, huge thing. And you can't even put proper wording on how big this all is. But 33, and then you have the media then for days upon days. And there was a program through the CIA who at one time, who I still believe still exists, doing the same thing, pushing the same narratives, coming all of the same voices and the same head bobbling. Bubble, bubble. And you see all across, I know you guys seen this, all across the screen, you got 50 faces of media. The strongest of the strong, right? Yeah, right. Anyway, they're all repeating the same script. Again, and this has been their own demise of their plan. They put it out blatantly in front of you, and yet they keep pushing the narrative. They don't care. You guys, us guys, we the people, the ones who want no parts of them, their plan, and where their analogy of where America should be. But, you know, this push is all designed against us. The ones who will not submit to the things that they want, follow the instructions. It is criminal. It is criminal actions. It are crimes of abuse of power and more in all the countries on the globe. If you want to consider the earth a globe, it's not actually a globe. And I'm not calling it flat, okay? There's a big conspiracy to that. I don't know. I've never been up there to see it. And I just know NASA really screws up a lot on things. And I'll give you a little indication of what they did, just to give you an idea how they even lie to us. And this is something that happened, I don't know, about a year ago. Supposedly, they're all up in the space station, and they don't really look like they're floating, but they have these astronauts positioned up like they would be floating, okay? Now, I don't know if they were doing some artwork and whatever. So they got a beach ball. You know, you blow up a beach ball, right? It has air in it. Well, in space, everything floats, right? Am I right? The astronauts were floating, but the ball didn't. The ball dropped. And that's the reason I'm bringing it up. That's what I'm telling you here. The ball is dropping here. Same way. It was a lie. It was fed to us. And if anybody didn't see that ball fell, oh my God, are you freaking blind? But yeah, we do have the blind leading the blind in America. Well, I'll tell you one thing I did like, though, this weekend. Hannity and the very strong Republican governors of the United States, of some of the states, did a show, and I want you guys to check it out. They had a lot to say. They really did. And boy, if they did not rip the asses on these Democratic, the blue states, without a doubt, because they embarrassed the shit out of these people. They did. And they talked about it wholeheartedly. They told everybody in every way all the problems of America, and how by doing what they did, they kept the strongest economies in the country going, of the country of the United States of America, if you want to call it, or America, depending upon if you look before 1871 or after, when we were so unlawfully just sold out to the crown. But anyway, and that's where we're at with that too. And that's why you always pay that 20% tax, and why you'll never ever own your true property. Even though you own it, you got to pay a tax bill every year. Why you tax? Think about that. What does that tax money do for you? We already have road taxes. We already have taxes on clothes and this and that and that. They all are supposed to take care of it. That goes over to the other side. And that's what Trump's been trying to kill. He's trying to give the sovereignty of the money back to the people and everything. They can't stand that. And that's what Abraham Lincoln did. Abraham Lincoln did the same thing. Trump did it, and then Kennedy wanted to do it as well. He wanted out of this, and where did he land up? Anyway, we could go on forever, us as people, and just, talking about things. So anyway, check out that, and if you haven't, it's on my personal page, and I may have posted it into Taking Back America, in case, I'm sure people are getting to know who I am now, and if you go look there, check this out. It's fantastic what these people did. And they're embarrassing, with no problem to embarrass all these deplorable governors of the blue states, and that's what they are. They just blatantly exposed exposed everything you wanted to know, but not coming from me in a small voice, but coming from voices of great magnitude and promise of America, because they proved themselves. They really did. They felt the rights of the American citizens come first beyond everything else. And they didn't shut down their states. They did everything unethical, in disagreement to the CDC, to the White House representatives, to Paskey, to everybody out there, the media. They basically gave them all and shot them all the finger. And that's what they did. And they did it on Hannity. So please check that out. It was a really good show. Much better than mine. Much better than mine. But I don't really consider myself a show. I think I do have an angel protecting me up there somewhere. Something on the good is, because I do talk a lot of shit about a lot of different shit. And that I do. And most people are cut from it. And I said this the other day. You think about this in case you missed this, Miss April. And that's okay if you miss, sweetheart. You have a wonderful life, and you need to live it any way you want to. But I wanted to just acknowledge you out there and say hello to you. Yeah. No, I'm not even going to. But we just live in the worst of times. We really, really do. We just do. But we're going to get through a lot of things. But we're not going to get through it all. If to every hit that comes, there's going to be another problem that needs another cure. Or another battle, another bill to be passed. Get used to it, because we're still at that place. We just are. We're still at that place. It doesn't matter that Trump still holds some keys to the presidency, because he does. He really does. People don't have to agree with me, and I don't care that they do or don't. I respect that they do or don't. I truly do. I'm not against them. And I'm all about debate and talk and everything like that. So keep in mind these manufactured wars, the medias, and why we're facing a lot of the issues that we do. And that's just the way it is. Things aren't on the American people's side. It's a shame. It's an embarrassment. We are an embarrassment to the public of the world. And we truly are. They know now that America is the root of the devil. That America's government, I want to say, is the root of the evil, of why and where this is all taking place. And I'll go one step further. Every country involved with water, over water or not over water, whatever, wherever they are, they all received this same piece of paper dictating to them how this would work. And we know this is a public release now too. Excuse me. This is a public release that has occurred that gave out 5 narratives of how to operate and function their show. Wow, I keep burping this morning. This whole narrative of where we are. But it's coming out. These papers are being leaked. Some people are some podcasters got a hold of them, I guess. And they're coming out. And it doesn't matter if you're in a place that does it in colors, like red, yellow, blue, green, purple, or if you do 1 through 5, or if you do Z backwards, Z, X, Y, blah, blah, not ABC. And so there's a bunch of different narratives, all different languages, but it's the exact same push, which again, takes us back to the whole point. We know where we're at. They want this massive change, and they want it for their own good, for the power to control and take our freedoms. That is the whole thing that this is about. It really is. It's about removing us as human beings in a way, and removing us from the planet if possible, which I really believe that's the whole part of the huge narrative. And now to come out with the Black Panthers going to take out everything of whiteness. Are you kidding me? And so we have that. But another thing that I called that did go down, BLM, co-founder, stepping down. As I said, we have a narrative of things. Dr. Bricks, if you didn't see that, there is some things out there. I'm going to dig today. People are getting back to work today after the little holiday weekend. And again, I don't know that I can even call it that. I call it a day of a memorial, to reflect the people. If you want to get with your family. I mean, we're at that time now. Everybody should be with their family every day of the week. It doesn't matter. Party, party, party. Do what you do. Refine the love. Rekindle all the flames that have separated us in ways and opinions. And yeah, so all these things laid out are just terrible. They're just terrible. And again, every day's going to be a fight, and it's not going to get easier. And I feel something very major is definitely going to happen. I can't put my finger on it, but I think we're looking at something of a catastrophic global event. It's not going to just be America. And if it is in one isolated spot, let's say it's America, it's going to have the effects to everybody involved. This plan is big in a way where it needs to be involved globally towards every country for a takeover, which means when they really get ready to fire the big shots at us, and they haven't yet. Everything we've seen is just a freaking game. It's nothing. When the big event occurs, whatever this big event's going to be, I want you to just know in your mind, it's a narrative. It's going to be a produced, manufactured event. Okay? Manufactured event. Keep that in your mind, no matter where it goes, what it is. But I still want to push this to you too. It's just important. Get your essentials in order. Keep them in order. It's important that you do that. It really is important that you keep everything in order in your life. Have a family plan, all these things. Because I'm telling you, something major is going to come. Maybe they're going to actually get away with this indictment on Trump, and you're going to see Trump go to jail. Is it going to be a false narrative by the White Hat making this look this way to make people awake more, for the military to take full action, to see that it's the public's cry for this and that they need to take these steps to take down the completion of what's going on that has not been taken down yet? I don't know, but I can tell you this. What you've seen has just been a game. It's just been a game. They're toying with us. They are. It's as bad as it sounds of all the narratives that we are under. It's just been a game. And they don't give a crap about you, or you even paying taxes, or you as a human being. Their narrative is not about that. It's a deeper cycle of corruption, or I don't know, it's all alien, if you get what I'm saying. Could it be? It might be. It might be. We have books written and things written that show us many, many things, and we don't know where this satanic and all this ritual bullshit that they've done, and HST and HT, and it's just sad, but who are they involved with? Well, we know who they're involved with. We know there's only a very small percent of the 1% who really call the shots. So you have 1%, but it's a fraction of 1%. There still is a narrative of a leadership program there. Presidents of the United States have not had leadership in the United States forever. They just don't. It's a title. It's a title. It's a face that gets up in front of you. I still see good change though with Fauci. That little prick's going to get in trouble, man. They're going to dump his ass. Mark my words, he's going to get dumped. You got BLM that went down. You got Dr. Bricks. It's questionably who was arrested under the act. I think it was of 1807 something B205 bill. I have it in my notes. If you want it, I'll give you the proper. I could be off on that. So much to remember, constantly to remember. It's difficult. It really is. I have to reflect even in my own notes on what I talk about, because everything is, what you put into it. If you put time into it for people, you're going to give people something credible, and you're going to help them. And to me, that's all I've tried to do since the beginning of this. But I want to tell you, always believe in the unbelievable, and this narrative of push, again, they're just toying with us. They didn't get to this point yet. This point will come. There's been many pushes of different narratives, and as I said, it could be of alien, it could be of an asteroid, it could be of Trump getting arrested, it could be the financial banks have shut down. Well, if they do, that's because the push has already been doing it to take them out, and that is the truth. All right, Melbourne police in Australia, get what these little buttholes are doing down there. They're now pushing the narrative on who you can listen to in the media. They're trying to stop and help suppress with Facebook and so forth to shut down who they deem is media news, not who is licensed news. So you can be a podcaster and have a license in Australia. But if they don't see that you're of the quote-unquote to them, with them, then guess what? you lose your rights. Is anybody out there trying to push the narrative of truth across to the people of their country? So that's taking place down in at Melbourne. I believe it's pronounced Melbourne, Australia, and they're doing their thing. But the police, again, are acting like the Nazis. I get they have a job. I get they're told every day, and it's pounded into their freaking heads, if you don't go along with this, we can take you down as well. And that's probably some of the truth. Why would these police go to work knowing that they're actually going against their own families, cousins, grandparents, brothers, sisters, and everybody else who are against this? There's a push, a threat, and a fear. And the workers that are still pushing this threat, fear, and all these emotions to the public is just what it is, a hard place to be in. I don't think anybody wanted this, but people got to eat, and it puts people in a very, very divided area. And it's just where we're going to be. So yeah, they're trying to tell you now, if you can only watch TV2 News or Channel 11 at 11 and all these, and this is who you will watch. Yeah. So I guess, I'll just put it out there this way. I probably won't be around much longer. But if I'm not, you can find me on YouTube and a couple other things. If you go in, subscribe, or hit me up on Gmail, TenOclockTalks. And we can always forward. We have great people behind the glass, a couple of young ladies who push really hard to get you if anything's missed, they'll get it to you. So, Fulton County, Georgia, what I was telling you there, these defense attorneys, I'm really interested in that, on what's going to happen there because of certain things that happened and the pushback. There's a reason why I'm bringing that back up, and it's because of the strength of the American people that put us in this place. And I want to just stress to everybody, don't give up on this. Push your narrative back at them. Stay strong in it. And I know us as people, we're not all involved. But there are tens of thousands of people working 24/7, as I said. And we don't hear about them. We only hear about that there's a change, or there's a narrative of push, or a legal document being presented, or a hearing coming up. This is because we have pride of America. We have good, strong, beautiful people looking out for us. We truly do. If you come across any of these people, do anything you can to thank them, show them respect, let them know that we support them, and let's keep going with that narrative from our side as a pushback to them. All right, again, let me know if you know anything about Jen Paskey. Is it true? Is there a possibility of her stepping down? What did she do wrong? I'm going to do a little digging on that today. It's interesting to me. That really is. All right, the Dems are also preparing for the first filibuster, and this is going to be another push, and it's an escalated tensions are going on there because they didn't like how the insurrection panel was going to be put together and shot down. So they're going to come a lot stronger at this because they need control. Their major artery to all of this that branches everywhere out is the control factor. Again, this is why I've always said since day one, take out the smalls, Trump will take care of the top, and that has happened. That is happening, and every day we do see some types of improvements. We do see things. We do, but it's not strong enough. Just like the Q&A that I got involved in, but that's what it turned out to be. I think I did pretty good. I wasn't no rock star. When I couldn't answer a question, I just said right out, I just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You don't push a narrative to be somebody, but the truth, if you're trying to just stick to the truth and speak the truth to the people, no matter if they invite you out. And I have several people inviting me out for 4th of July that are doing things that want to celebrate the holiday, and they're having some Trump things. It's all going to start going down big, especially now with us knowing that Trump is starting to do a little political push narrative to the public and show his strength back into the area of the politics of where he now is, because that in ways is what it is. All right, so yeah, keep your eye on Fulton County without a doubt. And I loved what Beth had up today. What was it? Something like waking up today, be awesome. That was a really good post you put up there, because the truth is, every one of us in America don't deserve to be pushed down as they're doing to us and be divided and to be called out as negative people who don't want controlled. And you need to know you are awesome. You're every bit of that. You really are. And always keep that in you. Don't let them push you down. Don't accept it. Now, China's also reporting, I don't know if this is going to be a new scare factor. I talked about this with this new bird flu kind of like weirdness. They're claiming that they now are showing positive cases in humans from this. Okay, so we have a couple new viruses out there floating. I'm just saying, but what makes them all of a sudden come out with honesty? I don't know. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, so there was a plan. This I'm happy about. Down in Texas at a Walmart store, I don't know how all this happened. There's been some slight leaks of information. I believe it's all true, but it was a planned to happen, mass shooting in Texas, and it was all stopped. Now, that's great intel. That's people doing their work. That's America looking out for America. Thank you for all that. I wish I could see people's comments here. I can't. Just so you know, I'm trying to focus more on where you and I are today. And Dave, I apologize if you're out there. I think I see you came in. I tried to link to it. It wouldn't let me link off my device. Apologies. That's all I can tell you. I didn't know. I have a life. I'm trying to get through my life. I'm trying to share my happiness with the world out there because, hey, you know, this is my entertainment for the world. This is, I take it as if you're entertaining, it's not really news. You're not venting. You know, it's quite comical in ways if you really think about it. So, as disastrous as this is, there's no comic about it. But again, if I keep my narrative that way, maybe they'll let me keep breathing online with you guys. So, yeah, fourth stimulus check by July 15th. And now people are signing special papers. They want $2,000. You know what? They should have did that from the beginning if they were going to do that. But now, is it more the people who really just don't want to go back to work are going to get cut from unemployment because governors are standing up in many states? They're cutting people. You don't work, you don't get your unemployment. You know, just things like that. But now there's this big thing. You can sign on to it. That people want now a payment of $2,000 a month. But it seems in July they're going to throw some breadcrumbs out to some people. Who all will get it, I don't know. One of the key issues here is a fact that Joe brought up and a comment that he made, if it was Joe, pushes Joe. Who knows with all the technology who was really saying it, if it was just, again, probably scripted by somebody else. He does what he's told. On how he is making America different for the poor. So I think that what they're trying to do is isolate what they're considering poor. They're not coming out with this, but again, to me, I hear a racial divide in that comment. People always had the choice to work. You wanted success in your life or you wanted to be a lazy freaking ass. Which one did you pick? They are what they are because of who they are and what they did. You didn't have to be weak in this world. Especially not in the United States of America. There was a time up till just recently, as we all know, where being productive was a goal. It was a thing to do. You know, it was an American thing to do. Just all nuts. It's just all nuts. But again, that's what Joe's looking for. People want this $2,000 a month. Maybe everyone will get it. I don't know. If you're working, you probably won't because the essentials were the most ripped off in the United States. There was some bonuses out there for the truckers, and there was $100 here or $2 more an hour, or we'll give you. But yet they were giving hundreds and hundreds of dollars for people to stay at home. In addition, and yeah, it's again. All right, so maybe in July you can expect that. I don't know. And we got some more CEOs stepping down on July 5th. Why is that a key date now? I don't know. Why is it a key date? But Amazon bought MGM. All right, so one of the things that I thought might help you a little bit today, just throwing some news out there. Texas and the voting, certain things going on. Everyone was called in to do a vote. It was about the voting. and keeping restrictions on it and keeping it protected where every vote would matter. Well, the Dems walked out. Abbott's reaction to that was, I guess they don't want their paychecks any longer. I like that stardom kind of conversation. I just do. I hope that's where we're at. Now, there's also a couple very good pastors. Some will call them reverend. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am one. All right, true. I did it for studying of ancient things, to get my hand on certain books. If you did seminary and different things, it put you in a different class, people gave you a different type of respect. But I like to know the history and the books and getting my hands on the good stuff. And when you're able to, I don't think I did anything negative by it. I don't live in a bad way. I keep positive. But I used it for a gain, maybe. But if anybody said to me, Michael, I need you for this, or would you do window prayers through COVID? Yes, I did. I did. So anyway, these reverends are now following suit against Nancy and Harris for blocking them off being able to do little vigils and prayer services up at the Capitol. Now, why they wanted to do it at the Capitol? Because it's the people's place, right? Without a doubt, it's the people's place. It's not their place to control where prayer is in America or who has what faith. Of any faith, it's their faith. Keep your freaking mouth out of our business. That's what makes America strong. But again, the control factor. So now there are lawsuits, and the one leading the way is Reverend Mahoney, and he's pushing. Now there's other people doing, and they're not going after the federal government. They're going on this attack of these lawsuits against the persons. So Harris and Nancy are named in these litigations of suit. I'm digging that, man. I am. I'm digging that. But again, they're going to be protected by law and corrupt government. Let's just hope that some of these low-life judges get on board with where America's going to go here. Because, even if we let's just say we wait to 2024, there's going to be 170 million to 200 million votes for Trump. And it's going to be watched ever so closely. I'm just saying, if it takes that long, it will break all records of anything, everywhere, anywhere. And you know what? People around the globe will vote for Trump. He could probably get 1 billion votes if that was the thing. But what I'm saying here is, by everything they're doing, they're just distracting themselves. And that's why they're going to come up with a more critical fear factor. Be aware, be prepared, get your essentials. I'm not lying. Everything that I've said to people so far really has worked out. Maybe within hours of difference, or a couple days, or a week of indifference. But I think I tried to put a good nail into the wall, with some force to really deliver good things and figure out all this decoding of all this bullshit of their narratives. So we're going to just stay strong through that. Because you have things like this. Yankee Stadium and people just trying to voice Trump. I know you guys caught this. Then there's some people out there getting 1 million views for this, and I'm not going to stay into this commentary long. I know people everywhere have the right to be free, and if they want to hang up a Trump sign at a ball game, over a railing, I think they have that right. But to be voiced on and separated from the rest of the people because you voted for Trump, or to be voiced on because you're not going to submit to a vaccine, either am I. And here, it is what it is. And then you have concerts. I don't know if any of you guys caught this. And maybe this is fake news. I haven't verified it because there's so much shit flying out there. But think this. $18 a ticket to go to a concert. But if you have not got the miracle cure, if you have gotten nothing, it's a $1,000 ticket seat price to you. Check it out, is all I'm saying. Pretty weird, right? But true. These are things that they're doing. They're going to hold us down. They're going to give us limited access. We're going to get the leftovers. We are the leftovers. Get into your garden, start taking care of yourself. Buy smart. Get what I'm telling you need. This is the pattern that's going to go forth now. They need a number quota, and I still haven't figured out why this quota is so damn important. But would it have something to do with years to come? Or are we just the strength to come that will keep humanity alive while the weak ones took the miracle cure and die off. We could totally be looking at this in the wrong way. We could. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We may turn out to be the strong that keeps humanity alive for years to come for the children of this planet and for other places that we may not have already gone to, but may have gone to. And I'll just leave that to you like that with that said. But it is what it is. Now, also, Biden throws his weight in on Floyd trial and all these different narratives that he does when he feels and sees fit to it. Then he throws $38.5 million to the Palestinians now with all this Barack never mind. I don't want to get into some of these words here. But anyway, yeah, so $38.5 million. Wait, what could he have did for America for that? I mean, everybody down there, Hamas and Israel and Iran and all, they could have worked this out had people not pushed the narrative of war. Because wars really aren't, and these poor people that didn't make it home, 90% of these were all manufactured. That's the sadness in America. Men died over lies to make people rich. And God, I could drop every F-bomb under the sun for that. I really could. And that's just my viewpoint of it. But when you learn, you look at history and you see what's written, and you see the push of where it is. Jack, hi. I can't really see to your thing, so I hope people respond to Jack. That's where we're at. It's bull. It's just disheartening in many ways. And I don't want to keep bringing you down and using these words, but that's where we're at. And that's why I tell everybody, push your narrative back on them. Live in the light. Live in the positivity. Fight this climate change. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's not even real. I'm sitting up here where I'm closest to the sun right now, and I should be getting sunburn outside. And they're cloaking the skies, and it's like 50. True story. True story. I'm actually freezing right here. Can any of you keep me warm? I'm going to have to go outside and build another fire. I did have a fire yesterday, though. And then I went to the store, and I bought some things, too. We had a great sale up here. I'm getting off path here, but I'm sorry. I do like meat. I don't eat a lot of it. I am more into, like, greens and whatnot, but that's a health diabetic problem. But they had filet mignon, grade USA, and it was $9.98 a pound or $7.98 a pound. Well, I went and bought two of them. These big, huge things. But I'm sorry. I deserve that in my life, I'm going to have that today. I really am. Might be alone, but I'm going to have it alone. It doesn't matter to me. All right, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that's where this base of the Black Panther Party is now stepping out and pushing their word. That they are going to take everything and destroy everything white. And, for what reason? What did we do to you? What planet are you people on? Yeah, again, it has to be a push, a Soros, an Obama, somebody, money being fed and filtered into these people, and to push the ideology that they need to do this and destroy. Well, the Patriots aren't going to stand down to shit like this because the Patriots have much better weaponry. And if the police aren't going to do nothing about it, and if it becomes that strong, we are going to see what we already have is a revolutionary war in America. We have that already. This is going to be a second part to what that is. And I'll call out every patriot that I can. I'll go on every group that I can. I'll push this everywhere. If something like this is to start up again with this narrative of billions of dollars of destruction up to our America that our forefathers built and bled from their hands to do. And when you ride down the streets in America, and you're American, your city, and you think about how many people are in America, and you see these great high-rise buildings and these cities and side-by-side homes and condominiums and beachfronts, these were built by citizens of the America. And we're not going to have it destroyed because you have a negative mindset of thinking the whites are to the blame. Let me tell you something. White people were still being sold as slaves when you were freed. Do you have an inclination to that? And that is the truth. That is the truth. And they were way before people discovered in ways. A lot of people overseas never even saw a person of color. This is all bullshit. And if you really take this back to everything of it all on the narrative of that, the British did all this. And they paid for play to the African people to sell their own people. Therefore, then, black people were selling black people. And that's probably why you have black crimes bigger by black crimes of black parties. Black on black crimes. Black on black slavery. They did it themselves to their own people. And they were taught this by this long-term Sumerian and more history of text and writing. It's in the Emerald Tablets. It's in the copper. It's in the Dead Sea Scrolls. There's indications of this. Then you have the copper scrolls, I forget, it's copper something, but they're the coppers. And you have all these different things. And it all shows it. It all proves it. It all points to it. And slavery is just slavery. It's always been here, just as war has been here. And war works together in countries to make money, not save lives. They want to use your life to profit from it. And that's why, if you look at your birth certificate, and you have an original birth certificate, if you're lucky enough to even have your own original, it's stamped as a trademark as if you were an investment on the stock market being traded. These stamps are on, like that, out there, can't be found. When you get a copy from your church to say, hey, I need this for my new driver's license, and you go to the church, even if they even still exist, because Catholic churches now are just like, they're conforming, they're all getting together, they're closing down 10 and creating one. That's how weak they are right now, and they have no structure to sustain themselves. And that's because everything was seized from them. They got nothing left. At first, it was the American public because of what these perverts did in America to children. But now it's because of the enlightenment of who the Jesuit and who the Catholic Pope, the Vatican, the royals of the rich families, and all this information's come out. And they are just drowning. And they are drowning in their own cesspool. Be happy for this, because this is the mission that we have all pushed towards them. This is what we want to see happen to criminals like this. Because they had their hands in every deplorable act towards humanity that we know. And that is the truth. And that is the truth. So Biden's under also a little bit more pressure today. I'll give you more on that tomorrow, but stand by, because there's going to be maybe some good news, even though none of this is good news at any time. At any time. I also want to just remind you, if you can check out how these governors ripped all these states up. Remarkable how strong these Republican governors are. I'm pretty much done on what I was trying to share with you there. Unless you guys got something to say, I'll look it up closer to the viewfinder, which is really small. Ronald Kendrick, hey Ronald, what's up, brother? I love all my brothers and sisters, no matter what color, and I do too. Okay, so I don't know what you guys are going to do today, but I had a lot of fields to cut yesterday. I got everything done. Not everything. I got some more work. Going to do some gardening. I hope you're going to do some today too. Have some coffee, put your feet up, think about everything that's going on in America. Jack Alexander, hi. I am massive odd leaders of my church, bending to the need to the social justice. I know you are, brother. I just talked about even your media. Your media right now. I got videos from a couple of other friends that I have down there being told about you can wear the mask when you're out with your microphone. You don't have to wear the mask. And now, I think it was in Melbourne, big arguments of who can do what. And they basically are trying to control what medias they want you to watch. So I know Europe. But hey, also down in Australia, a lot of people may not know this. Australia was one of the first ones to come out and say that this whole miracle cure is nothing more than poison. And that's been publicized and publicly put out there as well in ways too. Jack, go over and tell Dave I said hi. I tried everything to hook up to him. I apologize to him. I wish him the best I can. But, I did what I could. So, not knowing what everybody's going to do today, I'm going to try to keep in touch with everybody and check in to say hi to everybody and see what's going on. If something big starts to break, I am going to start doing drops, because I think we're at a phase now They're going to give us our freedom at a cost. This freedom's going to come when you are just starting to set back in your chair in that easy lounger, that chase lounger, and you're going to be chilling out, and boom, you're going to get hit in the face with it. That's when they're going to take it back. Something of magnitude's going to come. May not have nothing to do with the mask, may not have nothing to do with the miracle cure, but that's when we're going to see the elephant show up. And that's what I want you to be aware of. So every time you're out, if you can buy a couple more cans of peaches or roasted diced tomatoes, you know, jarred preserved type foods, anything that is important that way. Extra cases of water, get them now while they're available. Think ahead of these people. Preppers knew about this for a long time, but they were just off by years. And everybody had their own ideology of why they were prepping and what they were prepping for. Some thought it was the catastrophic volcano and all these, articles that get released from the volcano were going to pretty much cover the world and take us into an ice age. And then you had people who thought about asteroids, and everybody did something different. But they were all on the right track in a way. They really were. And they all thought it out well. To a degree. Maybe a little overkill. But what is overkill when you look at this whole picture of what people do now? And their fear. And even me, I have fear. I fear for the children. I fear for... If I'm not here tomorrow to talk because they arrest me or take me down as just as a person, which I don't see happening, I'm just saying. But I can't help nobody. And that's why I try to, people still tell me on occasion, quit sugarcoating it. Hey, you know what? Sugar's not so bad. As long as you don't give it to a diabetic, you know what I mean? Because I'm one, I know. But anyway, no, I can only say that back to people. And it's not really about sugarcoating. You don't want to overguess or overanalyze things too. You just don't want to do that. It's not a good thing to do by any means. Just say the truth. Say the best you can. Even if your show's weak that day. If you didn't find anything, that's just how it works. You're not always going to be the first to be able to say everything. And I don't look at the idea to be able to do that. But I want to thank everybody who came in today. I appreciate everybody. I know you guys share for me, and that's great. And do what you can today to make your day well. Keep strong. I'll make responses to this after I go off the air. Dave, again, I apologize to you. Beth, you're my rock star. Stay strong out there. Joanne, if you chose to watch this, you have my most humble apologies, lady. I don't know what's going on in your head, but I'm not against you. April, you made it back into the room. You're a rock star. Dave, keep up the good work. Jack, do the best you can. Jack, I like to get with you and do something constructive. I do have a couple people with big strength that I'm working with now. Faces people will know. And have invited me into their platforms. And I'll be heading that way. I wish I could post more. But I don't want to drown everybody. I don't want to drown too much out there because it just sickens people, really. And that's why we got what we have in this room. If it was any other person, maybe of a bigger stature, the room would be full. But you can't always have that. Although people are looking, I hope they're just not out of kindness giving me a check mark. I hope that, or a thumbs up. I hope that they're really listening. I think you and I together, giving our voices out, are doing the best that we can in good ways. And we need to continue. Even if it just helps one. If it helps one, as Trump said, every life matters, even if it's just one. And that's where I'm at. Not because he said it, but I believe in it. But he said it too. And he's a rock star. He's the president of the United States and a dual presidency who does control all the codes. Keep that in mind. Look it up. It's out there. The generals of the military even admitted it. It's how much you want to and how far you will go to do your research. That tells you right there. And some other key issues and points. But just try to have the best day you can. I'll be back in tomorrow. I'll look for things that, help. Again, Friday night was just phenomenal for everybody. Thanks so much. I think it was pretty close to 100 comments or something just on Facebook side. What I got back from streaming, the people that shared elsewhere, that somehow they panned this, incredible numbers over there, but they are incredible people. I don't have that skill. My skill was cut. I'm trying to get back to where, and I don't want to say to where I was, but get back to where I can help more, better, faster, and keep people awake. I'm Michael Anthony. This is 10 o'clock talks. This is the morning we call waking up with Michael and you, and I thank you. And I'm glad to wake up with anybody. It can be waking up with Dave. It can be waking up with April. If anybody ever wants to come on, we can just do some dialogue questions. It's perfectly fine. It does help. It does keep minds fresh. It keeps narratives out there, and it really brings a lot more out of us. It reflects ideas. It brings things back to light that we forget about even. So good intellectual conversations and podcasting between people, I totally support. And again, I don't want to overkill you with what I truly do and what I've truly done, because there'd be like 50 more videos been slammed out there, and group rooms would have been saying, stop this man. There's too much coming from him. It's sad, but that's true. So I do what I feel is a comfortable level of what I can put out there from myself. Again, thank you all guys so much. You guys have a peaceful day. Stay strong. Have a glass of wine. Drink a beer. Do whatever it takes to stay in life the best you can. And remember, you have my prayers. You have the prayers of all the good people, the good Christians out there of all faiths. They are all as one together praying for the world right now. All together. Know that that is happening. Know that that is a strength of vibration and consciousness that does help. It's a proven fact. Remember that. Where consciousness and meditations are being combined as one, there is an energy frequency. Everything is mathematical. It's all by numbers. It's a frequency. Positivity, the best you can. Live life the best you can. Stay strong. Don't be pushed on. You guys are rock stars. Don't judge me. I won't judge you. I will see you tomorrow unless something blows up. And let's just hope we're all safe. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you. Take care.